On January 24, President Obama gave his annual State of Union address in the House of Representatives broadcast around the world. In his speech, Obama outlined his legislative agenda for the future, and no doubt his plans will be considered particularly critical for his re-election bid this year. And while the president addressed the ended wars in the Middle East, the repair of America's infrastructure, and the creation of new energy resources, it was his mention of education reform that took centre stage for Chinese microbloggers. Here's more in this first post.
President Barack Obama has criticized American colleges for their high tuition fees and proposed a change in the way funds are allocated to universities by the federal government. Obama said higher institutions cannot control their rising tuitions year to year, should have their federal funding reduced. The president also emphasized that higher education is not a luxury. It is an economic necessity that every family in America should be able to afford.
With the US a coveted destination for many Chinese to obtain a higher education, it's not surprising that microbloggers here took to the web to discuss the financial woes associated with attending an American institution. Here are some of their comments.
The United States has almost become a communist society. I really envy them. When education becomes a commodity of a commercial society as a product or service, it has strayed from its original purpose. However, high tuition costs obviously shouldn't become an obstacle for people who want to obtain higher education.
So as you can see here, microbloggers have recognized the ridiculous price tags put on an American education, even for American citizens, and a degree of skepticism as to whether Obama can really reduce skyrocketing university fees. In recent years, Chinese students wishing to study abroad in America have felt the full force of unbearably expensive education costs. According to a 2010 China Daily report, Chinese students account for the largest export of international enrollments around the world, at around 15.2%, with an almost 100,000 going across the Pacific to America annually. Tuition coupled with living expenses overseas is estimated to cost the average Chinese student between $150,000 to $250,000 annually. That's quite a whopping price tag to place on education, which just begs the question, how valuable is an education in this day and age, when thousands of Chinese come home after graduation only to struggle with imploding unemployment? And for those Chinese who choose to stay in their home country for university, it's not exactly a walk in the park to afford a degree either. Tuition fees are often beyond what many can pay. According to a survey conducted by the China Youth Daily in 2007, 86% of respondents believe that Chinese university tuition fees were excessive already, and it's safe to assume that the mindset hasn't improved in the 4 years past. Approximately 2/3 of students come from impoverished regions where their families make just over $500 a year. The majority of Chinese universities charge between $500 to $800 in annual tuition fees, making the dream of going to college stay a dream forever for those who sadly can't afford to go.